across many diverse areas in our wonderful school. To all the parents, grandparents, carers, avid supporters of our students, I thank you for making the effort to come today and celebrate with our students their achievements. Being with us in this recognition ceremony has more power than you know. There is a special mention to those students today who have achieved their first Principal's Award. I'm very proud of your efforts. It is that ongoing that sees mountains moved, small steps, and super well done. Today I would like to provide ideas for thought, invite you to be curious about learning and imagine what will be the future of education in Australia. With indeed, if we think about our current Year 7, when they graduate in 6 short years, the year will be 2024. There is a thought. It seems like a long way away. If you want things that are important to remain the same, you have to do things differently. And this is what Mark Scott said in 2007. At the time, he was the director of ABC. And they decided, well, what was important at ABC was telling the story of Australians and delivering a current, powerful voice for Australian people. How could doing things differently keep that true purpose of this Australian-owned broadcasting station moving into the future? And what Mark thought is, how do we do that in 2007, keep it as being that meaningful part of our Australian psyche? And so he started to innovate around platforms like ABC iView that would allow the delivering of the ABC story and what is valued 24/7 audience. iView is now a commonplace. They were the first to innovate in that space, and that's all history now, only 2007, 10 short years. That's an interesting idea. As a school leader, as a student, as a parent, as a community member, I would think that things are important in life, and indeed in education, would be such things as what we've discovered is what is important now has always been important. I've been reading a book called What School Could Be by Ted Dintersmith, and I encourage you to have a look at that book. There are common principles that emerge from great schools and where students thrive in environments that they develop. There's the first thing, they say purpose, that students attack challenges they know to be important, that make their world better. And I think we had an example of that Friday a week ago when our students took their lunchtime to engage in climate change in a very meaningful way. Essentials, students acquire the skill sets and the mindsets needed in an increasingly innovative world. Agency, students own their learning, become self-directed, intrinsically motivated adults. And knowledge, what students learn is deep and retained, enable them to create, to make and to teach others. When I think about these things, I'm proud of our students, the way in which they are emerging as young thinking people who work alongside our teachers to enliven their learning. To all the students here today, beyond your achievements, you have an understanding of your subjects and the ability to apply that knowledge. You are kind, you are considerate, compassionate human beings. You work alongside your teacher to the benefit of all the students in your class. When we all do well, we all do well. You understand the scope of technology, the foes of it, and what it takes to put your device into perspective and to self-regulate. You understand that the projects you undertake and create show many skills and many aptitudes, show you how to work with others, communicate your ideas, critically think and solve problems. Understand that each student has a strength and are good at different things. And you know many of these things cannot be put in the test. And really, that matter more as students move into the future. Despite the current regime of standardised testing, NAPLAN, the rigours of HSC, minimum standards, the list goes on, our students have gone on to thrive. My personal view, the longer our students are measured by such tests, the narrower the curriculum will become. Our focus is on learning, developing students to think and develop as productive young people, not answer the questions on a test and colour in a dot. That this is only a rank, a grade, a value. Or is it an undervalue of what students actually do know and can do? These tests are inventions of governments, not teachers and not schools. Our legacy at Ulladulla High School is being a world-class learner, and it's a vision I take very seriously. When I consider the outstanding people who have graduated and gone on to do incredible things, many students have delivered incredible keynote speeches at our presentation night and exemplify this world-class standard, and there are hundreds more. You would know that Sophie Johnson spoke last year. She graduated in 2013. She was the president of the Australian Student Union when she was at university and has recently been appointed as the Commissioner on the National Youth Commission into Youth Employment and Transitions, a pivotal position for the future of young people. Tom Carroll spoke. He also graduated in 2013. Tom was told in Year 10, "We think that's as far as you'll probably go at school, according to the tests." Tom didn't accept this and made a promise to himself never to say no, to do everything he needed to do to learn and improve. He has been studying law. He studied an arts degree and he's been studying law at university for the last 4 years. And his speech at presentation night was inspiring. Jarrett Orphan also spoke at presentation night. He's actually conducting a PhD research at the Australian Maritime College, University of Tasmania. His research is on renewable energy production from waves. It's groundbreaking research and is unique across the world. Ellie Chapman, Will Chapman, Grace Chapman. Ellie is a doctor. She's a local doctor. She's only 32 years old. Grace is in her last year of becoming a doctor. Both girls saw their brother, Will, go through a heart and lung transplant and ill health all through childhood. This motivated them to become, they wanted to help others. And Will is going well. He's now an advertising entrepreneur. An amazing story from a family. Turia, we know Turia, writer, motivational speaker, advocate for Interclass, advocate for the well-being of young people in the world in terms of digital use. She's an entrepreneur, a mum, and a pretty much all-round legend. The reason I'm telling you these stories and recounting them is that each one of those young people were all you once, sitting here in this school. They've gone to be incredible people, but it was through hard work, curiosity to learn, their ability to not give up. And that got them where they needed to go and where they wanted to be. Every one of you has that ability to be successful, and you will go on to make a difference. It's easy to doubt your potential. Let's try the opposite. If nothing was a barrier, what would you like to become? Where and with whom would you like to make a difference? What really interests you? And that you refuse to make or take excuses about what is important to you. And finally, you are the ones that make my job one of the best in the world. Your potential is my mission, and each and every one of you. I congratulate you on all of your efforts. May you continue to flourish. Thank you.